Welcome everybody, welcome to my site. It's called the Tomb of Illumination, and presently my channel's basically shut down. It's not going anywhere. They've controlled it. The people who run YouTube and all these liars out there who keep pushing the globe theory, they don't want the truth out there about how the real physics of Earth works, how you live on a flat Earth, and basically how no one out there actually knows how it all works. They're just oblivious to the other version. It's like everyone goes into court and just argues the one and only cause, result. There's never a second another version. Imagine that, living in that world. Put that in the court system. Where's it going to end up? But that's how most people think out here in this realm. They just take in their false indoctrination. That's it. That's the only version. And then they're fed false versions to boost their ego. And think, I know the right version. Look how stupid the other version is, because they're simple enough to actually believe all the garbage that's fed to them. Well, what I'm going to do, and if you don't share the videos, I'll never get out there, because they, like I tell you, they controlled them. Recently, I put up a video and put it on that cracking tattooed monkey site where he's got the glasses and the earring and the tats on him. No, I'm not talking about Epiphasis. and then they all jumped on my site, bombarded it with all these stupid comments. They can't debunk my theory. I know all the physics regarding the flat Earth, and it all works for science. It's all common physics we understand here on Earth. See, they can't deny, so only a few will ever understand it. So this is the story of religion, where you're the witness. You need to go and explain it to people, because they're never going to wake up if you don't start giving them a few hints, because you have to start waking up the mind to see reality. Seek and you shall find. So you've got to give these little tidbits to people to help them open up their mind, otherwise they just stay ignorant. Dumb and ignorant, brain dead zombies their entire lives. And it's just part of the recycling system. Everybody reincarnates, but when you do finally wake up, that's what religion's all about. It's telling you, it's your manual. The Bible is your manual for those who do or have woken up. Anyway, I'm going to start doing short videos regarding the religious texts and how it's a book of physics. Okay, how the Bible is a book of physics. So in the story of Noah, the sons, don't take me literally, but it's something like they caught him in an inappropriate position, naked or something rather. So they covered him and walked backwards. Now, like I say, it's all physics, and it's all about the sun. The entire Bible is about the tropical yearly cycle of the sun's movement. How it walks across the water in the tropical year. That's the sun moving north and back south again. We're all taught about that gap, that celestial gap there. They call the ecliptic. They don't use the word plane, do they? Because on their globe there is no plane. They pretend there is. They pretend there is one out here on the ball. No, there's the plane in here. You're in here. That's the observer on the plane. That's your perspective. Your world around you. That's how you see the world. See, the earthly system is a slice. Gets two like this, is centre Arctic. So you've got this is a meridian from the Arctic to the Antarctic, and there's the other side of the Earth, if you put a slice through the Earth. Now today's video is about Noah and his sons, and that when they talk about sons, they're always referring to sons, but there is only one main son, but it does get changed. That's another story. And then you've got the sun is on the ecliptic plane, and it's the first cab off the rank, which is the first horse on the inside track. Dead center is the black hole center. Everything on the plane moves around that at Barry's center, or that black hole center of the ecliptic plane. So all the planets out here are hermaphrodites like the sun. But the whole story of the sun is how it separates from the female, which is the male on earth. As we come into this world, we're separated from our other half, the female half. It's under the veil, it's hidden. And the whole spiritual story is about man waking up and gaining back his feminine aspect in spirit, which makes him whole, which connects his soul, brings the soul back into him. As he's born into the physical world, he loses his lost Lilith. Okay? So he's gaining it, and that's the whole story. So Adam and Eve. Atom is one, evenly split, and he's finding his Eve, even. And it's all about being even, and that's connected to the Physica-Piscis. But if you want to understand more of this, go right deep, delve deep in it, you need to join my Patreon and go to at least the saints, okay? But the super duper divine stuff goes even higher than that, goes into my higher tiers, okay? So anyway, today's video, back to it, is the sun and how Noah's sons moved backwards once they covered him. So you've got to understand that the sun is tucked into the Milky Way. That's the whole Jesus story, born in a manger. The manger is the long trough. The long trough's the Milky Way. The sun is tucked in there like an egg in a nest or an eye in a socket. See, my eye's in the socket. I can't see out the back of my head, can I? No. Well, it's the same as the sun tucked in the Milky Way. And you've heard all these silly stories about, the sun's out there. If it's, flat earth physics, why isn't it illuminating their whole earth? Because they're all stupid. If you want to wake up, become a little bit more intelligent, what you probably are, you need to come here and look for the truth. The sun is tucked into the Milky Way. So obviously the sun illuminates the earth during the day, and it basically comes around like this. All these are magnetic field lines, and they're all curved, nothing straight. So you take one of these magnetic curved lines, and you can replace it with the Milky Way. So anywhere on the latitude, let's just stick to the northern hemisphere, okay? Because the southern is split and mirrored. So just stick to the northern hemisphere so we don't get too confused. So the Milky Way, there's the tropical gap. Let's just draw the tropical gap in here, okay? So the sun comes out into here, and it moves between here. This is your ecliptic plane they talk about in science. So as the magnetic field is always coming out of the center here, it's coming out like this. This is what they regard as the spider web in celestial navigation, because the stars are all flowing like this. Okay? So one of these represents the Milky Way, and the sun is tucked into it. So as it's sweeping around the earth, east to west, anywhere at this precise moment the Milky Way is there, anyway, any latitude, any observer will get the sun, his own image, his own personal image of the sun within his own personal arc of horizon. Most people are just gone foggy brained already because they think I'm full of it. That's because they're frickin' ignorant, okay? I'm just telling you the truth. So if you want to learn the truth, stay with me, hang in here, and watch a lot of my videos. So the sun's tucked in here, and we just see it moving around, or moving over us actually. That's another story. It moves over us, moves around, horizontal at creation, basically perpendicular in our physical realm. Because this all comes out of creation. We don't see creation, it just comes out into our exploded realm. Everything comes out in a big torus field, okay? So the sun's coming around the earth like this. So you don't see much behind the sun. It's the light of the sun creating a massive glare. But you've got to understand, at night, it's opposite. The curve becomes like this. the curve moves across your sky backwards. So the sun that was in here is still in here, but it's hidden. It's under the veil. It's cloaked. Noah's sun covered him, and then walked backwards. And this is what the Milky Way is doing. The sun is going backwards. This is the back of the sun. You can say there's daylight. Okay, this way, you know, you can say it's there, and there's daylight. So it's curved that way, but at night it swings over us this way. Okay, that's the back of the sun. It's covered and it's moving backwards. The Noah story. So let's say, imagine, you know, I'm in the south. So I look to the celestial equator area. You see the celestial gap there between the two star rotations. I'll see the northern star rotation on the horizon, but then I'll see my southern one will just come around, a big sweep around from behind me. My cycles come from behind me in the south. In the north, if you're looking to the celestial equator, your celestial bodies are coming from behind you. There's two systems. We'll get into that later. But anyway, I'm in the south. So like I say, so it'll be curving like this as it sweeps across my horizon, curving like that, right? But at night, it's coming rising, but it's curving this way. The Milky Way comes up from the eastern horizon and goes across the sky, curved this way. It's a fact, okay? So there you go. There's that little short story. So I'll leave it at that. Basically an introduction to these short stories. If you want to get your head around it, go and read that part about Noah and that article. I can break anything down for you, okay? So thanks for watching. So, you know, if you do want to help me out, join up. Or if you really want to learn, join up. Otherwise, you know, you might be lucky to see these videos. Like I say, they're shutting me down. It hasn't moved for a whole year, subscriber wise. Whatever happened to compounding interest? It's the same thing. If you get a lot of subscribers, then it compounds. It's not. So it's quite obvious. They're stuffing me up. They're trying to restrict me to doing anything. I can't even sign up for Messenger. I got out of Facebook. Now I can't even get back on Messenger. They're preventing me from signing up with BitChute. Not BitChute. What's the other one? Forget the name of it. And they're forever trying to corrupt my phone and laptop. I just had to set the phone back to default recently. But I see they're jumping in onto my Grammarly already, doing weird things to it. I'm trying to get to the bottom of that one. Anyway, I can bleat on all day. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.